Good morning everyone, it's Tassie T here, welcome to the channel. I'm here with Captain Poke and we're bright and early on the road this morning. We're heading to a new location, a new river we haven't tested or panned before. The weather's looking pretty good. Let's see how we go. She's fairly thick bush down in there. And the track, well, it's actually not too bad apart from a bit of growth. It's in pretty good nick. We got the old GPS going, as well as some paper mats. And, yeah, about an hour and a half into our trip, slowly ticking through the bush. She's a fairly stunning spot. A lot of traffic. Have you thought about using Clarkson's approach to this sort of situation? Speed and power. Speed and power.
It's too long a walk home.
Yeah, no. I think we'll just go with steady. This area was known for its gold workings about 800 metres downstream was the K's diggings. And they worked that for quite some time. The Chinese were in there first. It's quite successful. They actually diverted the river and got stuck into the bedrock. The Arthur River is known for its gold. The Hellyer River is known for its gold. I've never actually panned this spot before, and from what I can see, it doesn't look like many others have either. But it also floods pretty regularly, so you wouldn't know. Upstream a little bit, it's one of the richest tin mines of the early 1900s, of Mount Bischoff. And they mined tin there for over 100 years. But all around Mount Bischoff, in the Waratah River and in the Arthur and a few other rivers, there was gold found. Philosopher's Falls, Philosopher Smith found gold there. Lots of tin in this. One little fly speck. One little piece of gold. The rest of that, it's tin. When the Mount Bischoff mine was in full swing, start of last century, their methods for catching the tin was completely inefficient. Consequently, see that black stuff? That is pure cassiterite. That's just tin. And that bench of that tin is about 2 metres high and it goes down into the river. There's also another bench of it down near the junction. That's how inefficient their methods were back then. They tried all sorts of crushing techniques. They tried all sorts of separation techniques. They had a massive setup of multi-levels of stamper batteries. I'll show you some photos of. And about half of it washed down the river because of the arsenic, because of the acid runoff from the Mount Bischoff tin mine. There's so many pollutants that they just dumped in the river back in those days, which is still leaching out to this day. Consequently, there's no fish here. And we're about 30 k's down. Apparently this is supposed to be good water, but I don't know if it's good water or not. Pokey's keen, he's jumped in. Grows a third eye. By the time we get home, you know it wasn't great. But yeah, there's quite a lot of silver, big flecks of silver, big flecks of copper, but it's mostly tin. So I don't know if we're going to stay here for that much longer. We might go down to the junction of the Arthur and the Hellyer and have a look there. I know people get gold in the Hellyer further up, not much, dribs and drabs, like most of the rivers in the northwest. You always get a little bit, but you never get a lot. Still, it's a stunning place to hang out. A bit of a waterfall. Well, that is the Hellyer River. And that is the Arthur River. And this is the junction of both. Now directly down there was what's known as Kay's gold digging. The Chinese worked it, and then Kay came up here and he worked it as well. It's worked quite a number of years. They actually built a big channel and pulled all the boulders out of the bottom of the river just there, and diverted the Hellyer, diverted this one to go over that side, and they worked this inside bank. And then once they'd worked it all down to bedrock, for a couple of 100 metres mind you, around the corner, down there, then they moved their wall back and diverted both to go this side, and they cleaned out all the bedrock through there, and they did quite well. Now the Arthur does have some gold in it, and the Hellyer does have some gold in it. So we'll see if we can scratch colour out of both at this particular spot, and just enjoy the place. It looks like there's a few bedrock pockets poking out over here and on the other side. We'll have a look. Pokey's keen, he's going to have a proper look. I might, I'm just going to have a scratch. See what we get. We've spent about 3 hours here at the junction of the two rivers. Worked a few crevices and found a couple of really tiny specks, but it's here. It's just small. The bedrock's really weird. It's like the Wynyard Tillite in places, and then there's this real shaly stuff with quartz veins through it. So I've been cracking open some of that and working it. It's got a little bit of gold in it, bugger all. It's the odd flake, 1 or 2 flakes every 3rd or 4th pan. So we're going to pack up now, go and have some tucker and a beer, and move on to our next location. The track's closed in on us somewhat. We thought we'd be smart and take a shortcut. So it's now actually turned into a long cut. How's that look for a place to set up camp? Make a bit of mischief. A good looking old shack. Now, I'm not sure who maintains this place and looks after it, but yeah, it's a good little spot to come and hang out. Actually a cool old shack, isn't it? The chalet. Now I have prospected gold here before. The water was a lot lower than what it is, just in these gravels here. But yeah, we're going to head back up the road, go to our other creek, give it a bit of a test, see what we come up with. Alright, so you can see the big pile of tailings is there when my gear's stacked. Another pile over there. So this is our final destination for the day before we head home, and we're just going to see what we find. Has been gold found here before? We'll soon see. 3 tiny specks. I'd show you which one of them, Sam. I'll show you anyway. That's not spirit. Tiniest of tiny little fly shit specks. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I've done a few more pans here, and 3 or 4 ultra fine specks in every pan, which is fine. I'm nowhere near bedrock. This is just in the top 1.5 foot. Gonna go up here now and check some bedrock out, dig out a crevice and see what's in that. Well, our last pan had quite a bit of black sands in it. We got out of that creek and went over to where we thought the original creek was, and yeah, real fine powder gold and lots of it. So probably be coming back here and maybe ring the sloughs. Just enough flow to make it tickle along. So now we're looking at the map, trying to figure out a possibly quicker way out of here. Usually a shortcut means it's going to be a shit road and turn into a long cut, because you know it's Tassie. Wicked cliffs and whatnot around in here. The track just suddenly stopped. Great big hole in the track means we turn around and we go about half hour back to our other road. We're still 2 hours from the main road. Alright, so we're driving along, lovely track, and we just fell through the road. So now we've got to get past this spot with the road wanting to collapse. I'm thinking we bend that out of the way and then absolutely go with more speed and power. So we'll see if he falls through the road or not. If he does, we get about a 40-kilometre walk, which is not ideal. Pin it! And we're all good. Thank you all for watching. Cheers.